Witches.
Hi, hello. Welcome back to another episode of Folklore. Today we are going to be discussing quite a few things, actually. So I'm going to be talking about the lesser gods, the sorcery type gods of the Hawaiian folklore. And Brandy is going to be talking about
The land of the gods. And a couple of stories that go along with those.
nice. What the fuck is this on my shirt? Did I just spill?
Apparently so.
Damn. Okay. Anyways. So I have 5 or so lesser gods to talk about, so strap in, chat. Just kidding. Strap in, kids. We've been watching this YouTuber who what's it called? He like streams on like Twitch, and anytime he what is it called? He always tells his chat to strap in. Or lock in, not strap in, sorry, lock in, chat, lock in. God, we've been watching him for a while, and I still apparently don't say it correctly. Okay, bear with me as I read slowly, and, try to
Try to
these
pronounce the
pronunciations.
names.
Yeah, I have pronunciations, after every single name, but, I didn't repeat them.
And some of
So,
these names are so long.
oh, very, very long. Like, a lot of, yeah. Literally in my first segment here. It's a very long name. Okay, so the first one we're going to talk about is Kihawa Hine. She is a shape-shifting Mo'o goddess. Mo'o is basically they are like lizard spirits. And actually, apparently, I learned this last night. There is a Pokemon that may be based on the Mo'o. I don't know if it's Jangmo or if you say it twice, Jangmo-o. But apparently there's a lot of Pokemon that are based after Hawaiian folklore. The Sun and Moon is heavily based on that, so that's a fun fact. But anyway, so she holds a unique place in Hawaiian culture. She was born as the daughter of Pi'ilani, a powerful 16th century ruling chief of Maui, and his wife, here's that long word, his wife, Laie Lohilohi'i Kauai? Kauai? So this woman is the daughter of these two, chieftain and his wife. And upon her death, her bones were actually deified. So that transformed her into the formidable goddess that we know today. So Kihawahine's spiritual presence was particularly strong in Mokuhinia, which was a royal fish pond in Lahaina, on the island of Muku'ula. This sacred site was not just a home for her, but also a place where she manifested her protective powers. As the personal god, which personal gods are also called Aumakuas. So she was a personal god of Keopuolani, which was one of Kamehameha's the Great's wives. Kihawanie, her influence extended to the highest echelons of Hawaiian royalty. That is essentially just hierarchies. That's what that word is. But I also didn't realize that Dragon Ball Z one of the most powerful like attacks that they do in some of the early anime is literally called Kamehameha, and I didn't realize that. Um, Also, Kamehameha is he is one of the great chieftains in early 1800s. He was known, or he's well known for like not bringing the islands together, but like unifying the islands of Hawaii. So she's got this special little fish pond where she can manifest her protective powers, and she was a personal god of one of Kamehameha's great wives. So her legends describe her as a guardian spirit who could transform into a giant mo'o, or lizard. In this form, she was believed to have the ability to control water and bring rain, making her an essential deity for ensuring agricultural abundance. The stories also show that her fiercely protective nature. She was known for defending her devotees from harm and guiding them throughout their lives. So she is one of those protective deities. So if you are not necessarily studying witchcraft, but like studying, I don't know, trying to find your pathway with deities, and you need one for protection, this one is something. If you like are interested in the Hawaiian folklore and you feel it calling to you, this is one of the ones that you could see if they'll work with you. So in Hawaiian culture, the lizard spirits like Kihawanhine were often revered as ancestral guardians. These water deities were believed to live in freshwater ponds and were associated with various forms of sorcery and magic. They were also seen as mediators, between the human and spirit worlds. So they provided that guidance and that protection to those who honored them. Kihawahine's legacy continues to be honored throughout modern Hawaii. Her story is a testament to the rich tapestry of Hawaiian mythology, where gods and goddesses play pivotal roles in the lives of their people. The reverence for Kihawahine's and other lizard deities reflects a deep respect for nature and the interconnectedness of all of life. So, if you need a protective spirit or an ancestral guide, Kihawahine's a great option for you. The next one I'm going to talk about is Haumea. She is the goddess of fertility and childbirth in Hawaiian mythology. She is one of the most important deities in Hawaiian culture, and her worship is among the oldest on the islands. Haumea is the mother of many significant gods and goddesses, including Pele, Kanemilohai. Kanemilohai, uh, Kamo, Kamoho'ali'i, and also Namaka, Kapo, and Hi'iaka. So this woman is the mother of all of these gods and goddesses. According to mythology, Haumea used a magic stick called the Makali Lei, I think it is actually. Makalei. I didn't write the pronunciation down for this, and that's my fault. To transform herself from an old woman to a young girl. She would periodically return to her homeland to marry one of her offspring, thus giving birth to continuous generations of humans. However, when her identity was discovered, it angered her, and she left humanity behind. Haumea is also associated with the Kanikawi tree. It's like the June palm, I guess. which used to create a potion that helped women give birth naturally. This was a significant development as it allowed mothers to give birth without the need for cutting open the mother. Nice. In addition to her role as a fertility goddess, Haumea is sometimes identified with the Papahanau Moku, the goddess of the earth and wife of the sky god Vaikia. She is also considered the sister of the gods Kane and Kanaloa. So it's funny that Kane, Pele, and Kanaloa are I don't know if Pele is considered one of the main gods, but Kane and Kanaloa being considered one of the main four gods, I think it's funny that like she's the sister of them, but she's not
one of them,
and essentially like the mother of all humanity, but not like she's not an important. Like she's important, but not that important, you know?
Right.
Haumea's legacy extends beyond mythology, though. So in 2008, the International Astronomical Union named the fifth known dwarf planet in the solar system after her. So the planet's two moons were named after her daughters, Hi'iaka and Namaka. Namaka, I think. So yeah, she's got her own dwarf planet, and her moons are named after her daughters, which is pretty dope, actually.
It's really cool.
Okay, the third one is a little bit longer than the other few. This one is called Papahanau Moku, which we just talked about in Haumea's. So she is the mother of this one. Papahanau Moku is often referred to as Papa, which I will also be doing the same thing. Is one of the most significant deities in Hawaiian culture. She embodies the earth and its life-giving properties, symbolizing fertility, creation, and nurturing aspects of the natural world. So similar but different to her mom, as the consort of Wakia, the sky god. Their union represents the cosmic balance and the harmonious relationship between the heavens and the earth. In Hawaiian mythology, Papa and Wakia are credited for the creation of the Hawaiian Islands. According to legend, their first child, Hawaii. Ooh, I don't think I said that correctly. See, every single time I see like the AI like apostrophe I, it's always like ee. So it makes me want to say it like that.
Is that not right?
I think it is. So, and you're supposed to say it with like a V sound. So I think it's like Hawaii. I think that's what it is. Anyways, their first child became the Big Island, which is what we know today. Their subsequent children formed the other islands in the Hawaiian archipelago, linking the geography of Hawaii directly to these divine beings. And I don't know if it's like Tahiti. I don't know if it's the island of Tahiti or the island of Hawaii, but like the way the island is formed from like far away, if you look at it, it looked like it's kind of like from Moana, where the goddess like lays down and creates the island or whatever.
Oh, okay.
I wonder if that's kind of like symbolizing that basically. But I don't know. Anyways, Papa is also known for her role as the mother of Ho'ohokukalani, who is a deity associated with the stars and celestial bodies. And one of the most famous Hawaiian myths, Ho'ohokukalani, gave birth to a stillborn child, which Papa buried. From the child's grave actually grew the first taro plant, also known as kalo. Taro is like a purple sweet potato.
Okay.
In a way. And it's actually pretty good. It's used a lot in Asian culture. Not Asian culture, but like Asian food. not food, fuck, like milk tea in a way. They also have like taro snacks. It's very good. So anyways, taro plant actually became a staple food for the Hawaiian people, which is probably why my friend Fiona likes it so much, because she lived in Hawaii for quite a few years when her dad was stationed there. So that's probably why she liked it so much. But anyways, yeah. So the story highlights the cycle of life, death, and rebirth. So she gave birth to a stillborn child, or like she was pregnant, so that was life, gave birth to death basically, and then buried it, and then something grew out of it. So this emphasizes the interconnectedness of all living things and the sustenance provided by the earth. It's a very tribal, like Native American like thinking. It's like what we give to the earth, we're going to get back.
Right.
We thank them for this kind of thing. Papa's influence extends beyond myth into contemporary Hawaii. Her legacy is honored through various cultural practices, rituals, and ceremonies, but or that celebrate the land and like what it gives, so its bounty. She is particularly revered in hula, where dancers often pay homage to her as the source of life and fertility. In modern times, Papa's significance has been recognized in the renaming of the northwestern Hawaiian Islands, Marine National Monument to the Papahanaumoku. Oh, fuck. Hold on. Papahanaumoku. Akia, Marine National Monument. This name change reflects the deep cultural and spiritual connections that Native Hawaiians have with their environment and the importance of preserving these sacred places. Papa stands as a powerful symbol of the earth's generative forces and the profound respect that Hawaiian culture holds for the natural world. Her story also reminds us that of the essential role that the land plays in our lives and the need to nurture and protect it. Which honestly, it kind of reminds me of the like little ride Living with the Land in Disney World and Epcot. Because like you go through, you learn about like all these things, what they're doing that kind of helps feed, and then at the very end, it's like, this is how we protect the earth. And I'm just like, I just remember going through like on that boat ride and getting to the very end, and then like listening to that, getting a little goosebumps because it's a little chilly and like the sound gets louder. So it's like my autistic ass is just like in my own little like, yeah, all the sensations. It's great. See, and I don't know if I want to go which fucking places I want to go to. So like now I'm like, ah. Anyways, I need a drink. My throat be dry. Okay. Woo. We got two more.
Two more.
Lock in, chat. Lock in. Okay.
Hello, Odin.
Okay, so honestly, my brain power to try to pronounce all these words is like really rough right now. Okay. Okay, so Haumea had a son called Kamohoali'i. Kamohoali'i, haha, who is a powerful deity in Hawaiian culture. He is known as the king of all sharks. He is a brother to several other significant gods and goddesses, including Pele, if you remember. The goddess, and Pele is the goddess of fires and volcanoes. Now, I don't know if she plays a more significant role, but these were the most listed lesser gods. So, yeah. Anyway, so he is a brother to Pele, and Kane. What? I just registered that. How can she be a sister to Kane? I gotta remember the Greek gods. Gotta remember the Greek gods.
Mm.
Okay. Anyways. And if any of this is wrong, I'm just gonna give you a death stare because, like, listen. I tried my fucking hardest, okay? It's a very not well-known culture. And a lot of things were fucking destroyed by the white people, so, like, you gotta take what you can get. And I'm not Hawaiian. I've never been to Hawaii, so I have no fucking clue. Anyways, so he is a brother to Pele and Kane, the god of creation. According to legend, Kamoho'ali'i was born from the union of the sky god, Vakia, and the earth goddess Papa. Kamoho'ali'i is revered for his ability to transform into any fish, particularly sharks, and even into human form. Ah, so he's Maui.
No, we're gonna talk
This
about Maui at
shapeshift.
some point, but not today.
Ooh. So this shape-shifting power makes him a guardian of the ocean and a protector of sailors and fishermen. So next time I go to the sea and the sea is pelting me with its fucking waves, I'm gonna yell at that bitch. When ships are lost at sea, Kamoho'ali'i would surface and signal his presence by shaking his tail. The priests aboard these ships would offer him the narcotic drink called ava as a token of gratitude, and Kamo'ali'i would guide them safely back to shore. One of the most intriguing legends about, I'm just going to call him Kamo because I'm going to get tongue-tied. So one of the most intriguing legends about Kamo involves his descendant, Nanaue, who was born as a shark man. Oh. I was going to say the first merman, but then I was like, what if it was like Maui from Moana? Like when he had a shark body, upper body.
Shark head.
Yeah. Anyways, so Nanaue, I think is how you pronounce it, posed a threat to humans. Damn. But Kamo's guidance and protection were crucial in maintaining balance and harmony between humans and the ocean. So Kamo is also believed to own multiple underwater caves. Maybe he took his son and was like,
Right.
go hide there.
Stay here.
Right.
Go to your
is
room.
believed to own multiple underwater caves beneath the ocean where he dwells. These caves are considered sacred and are often associated with various magical practices and rituals. I wonder if, like, they try to do some of these underwater rituals. Like, I don't know if there's, like, a location where you can get up onto to, like, I'm gonna do a ritual here. There's like a ledge in this cave, underwater cave, that I can like get up into, or if it's like literally just all underwater, and then you just go down there, do your little prayer, do a little motion, and then swim back out. Like I'm curious how that works.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. In Hawaiian culture, Kamo is honored through ceremonies and offerings, reflecting the deep respect and reverence Hawaiians have for the ocean and its creatures. So they have two. Well, he's a protector. He's not the god of the ocean. He's a protector.
Right.
Because I was thinking, fuck, what was the other guy's name? I literally just said it. Haumea is the mother. Fuck. What is the name?
I don't know.
Connie's brother. Kanaloa. That's what it is. Because he's the god of storms in the ocean, right?
I think so. I think you're right.
Okay. Anyways, his story highlights the interconnectedness of all life and the importance of maintaining a harmonious relationship with nature. I think the cool thing about Hawaiian culture is I'm noticing that there's like a lot of overlap and things. So like there's other cultures that have like one god per thing.
Yeah.
and there's like multiple um overlap in Hawaiian culture because they're all about the interconnectedness and all about relationships with each other, you know.
Yep. And I
So,
feel like it kind of there was probably multiple tribes. So some of these might have been like from two different tribes and they kind of brought
mhm.
them together.
Yeah, like when like merging when Western culture came.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that. Um, all right. Anyways, so the last lesser god I'm going to talk about is Laka. So, speaking of hula, Laka holds a special place in Hawaiian culture because she is the deity of hula, which is the traditional Hawaiian dance that is both an art form and a method of storytelling. She is celebrated for her connection to the natural world and her ability to inspire creativity and grace in the dancers who honor her. Laka is often depicted as a beautiful and nurturing goddess, um, embodying the life giving forces of nature. She is the wife of Lono, the god of agriculture, peace, and fertility. And together they represent the harmonious balance of natural cycles and human creativity. In Hawaiian tradition, Laka is credited with the creation of hula. So, according to legend, she journeyed through the islands teaching the sacred dance, which was not only a form of entertainment, but also a way to preserve and pass down history, genealogy, and cultural values. Hula performances dedicated to Laka often include offerings of flowers and foliage, such as mai leaf, male, I don't know, and le. See, these are some words that I missed. Lehua blossoms, which are sacred to her. I wonder if those are the like flower crowns that they wear
Oh,
while dancing
maybe.
hula.
Yeah.
Um, the halau hula or hula schools hold ceremonies to honor Laka and seek her blessings for their performances. These ceremonies involve chants, prayers, and offerings, invoking her spirit to inspire the dancers and ensure a successful performance. The belief is that through hula, dancers can connect with Laka and the ancestral spirits, ancestral spirits, creating a bridge between the past and the present. Laka's influence extends beyond the realm of dance because she is also associated with fertility and growth. This makes her an important deity for those seeking blessings for childbirth, agriculture, and the flourishing of life. Her nurturing and life affirming qualities make her a beloved figure in Hawaiian mythology and in culture. I mean, hula is such a huge part of the culture. Like, I would be surprised if they didn't make her.
Right.
Like, if she wasn't a beloved figure.
Yeah.
Um,
Agreed.
but anyway, so the legacy of Laka continues to thrive in modern Hawaii, where hula remains a vibrant and integral part of cultural expression. I feel like they have. I've never been to Hawaii. Will's been to Hawaii. I'll ask him. But I honestly, you know, in like movies, when you get off the plane or you come out or you like arrive at your hotel, there's like hula dancers there, like welcoming
Yes.
you. I feel like that's such a gimmicky tourism thing. But I also and like movie-esque kind of thing, and that's probably not,
Yeah.
you know, the truth, but I also feel like it could be. Like you're welcoming people.
Yeah.
Like maybe they're doing I don't know, like fuck, I don't know, it's like doing like a dance of like protection maybe, like
Maybe.
come have fun. I don't know. Um anyways, festivals, competitions, and performances are dedicated to hula or uh there's festivals, competitions, and performances dedicated to hula which honor Laka's contributions, and it also helps keep her spirit alive in Hawaii.
Okay.
So yeah, those are the lesser gods of Hawaiian mythology.
Nice. I like it.
Thanks.
So like we said earlier, I'm going to talk about the land of the gods, which is, there's actually a couple different islands, or like reading about these, it was giving like Atlantis, Avalon, like they're on a separate plane kind of vibe.
Mm-hmm.
So Kane and Kanaloa were gods living in the bodies of men in an earthly paradise, but that was like in a floating cloud land, where they drink awa and are fed from a garden patch of never failing growth. This land is located upon one of the 12 sacred islands under the control of Kane, that are believed to lie off of the Hawaiian group. But they're actually called, today, they're called the Lost Islands, or islands hidden by the gods. So these may have been real islands at one point that either like have been lost under the sea, or
Atlantis.
oh right, or it could have even been like, you know, Hawaii and then over to, what is it, New Zealand. Like it could have been islands off the coast of each other where they maybe voyaged and kind of saw each other but didn't make it all the way, or something like that. I don't know. They're called the Lost Islands though. So at sunset, sunrise or sunset, they may still be seen on the distant horizon, and sometimes they're kind of touched with a reddish light. So, but these are sacred islands and they must not be pointed at. So if you're ever in Hawaii and you see an island in the distance, don't point at it, because that is not good, I guess. It's disrespectful. So the first one of these islands we're going to talk about is Kanehuna Moku, which means the hidden land of Kane. This is where Kane and Kanaloa live with their direct descendants, such as Kane of Thunder, Kane of Water, Kane of Life, like all of the iterations of himself. It's like a middle land between heaven and earth, where spirits can enjoy all the delights of earth without labor and without death. There is a scholar or historian that calls this the land where the first man was made, and where he lived until Kumu Hanoa was transgressed in the law of Kane, or where Kumu Hanua, which was the first man, lived until he broke the law of Kane and was driven from the land. So that's one of the islands. Another one is Paliuli, which is said to be located in the uplands of Ola'a, in the forest between Hilo and the Puna districts on Hawaii. So Nauahi of Hilo is said to once have chanced upon this enchanted spot, but in an attempt to prove his like basically to brag, he wants to take a friend to this spot and he can't find the path again. So the gods have hidden this kind of, they call it the Garden of the Gods. So kind of like the Garden of Eden type vibes. It's like a paradise. It's described by a quote saying, where the sugar cane grew until it fell over and rose again. The bananas fell scattering. The hog grew until the tusks were long, the chickens until the spurs were long and sharp, and the dogs until their backs were broadened out. So that's kind of like your paradise on earth, because that was said to be on the island of Hawaii. And then the third one is Hawaii Helani, which translates to supporting heaven. And in the legend of Kaulu, it's the place where Kane and Kanaloa drink awa with the spirits, kind of like I said above. And it is the chant name for the land from which Olopana came and which Kila visits, which I think we'll be talking about those stories later. It's also the land in which Pele was born. Uh, Sorry, I just kind of like lost my spot.
You're good. I'm just trying to figure out who Pudge the fish is supposed to be in Lilo and Stitch.
So this is the land where Keanini is born and where he lives and from which he departs for the underworld. And Kuwahala Ilo comes to woo the grandmother of Keanini in a different version of the story. It's the land in which, oh gosh, I didn't look this one up. Kapua Aka Ohelo Ai is banished by her parents, and it is her mother's ancestral home. So this is like the floating land. And it's also said to be inhabited by the Menehune and the Muai Mai, which translates to banana eaters, and I thought that was kind of funny. And then the last island, but not the last thing I'm going to talk about, is above Kuahilani, and it is called Nu'umea. Nu'umeha Lani, which means sacred raised place of the heavenly one. This is the land where Haumea retires. So you talked about her. When the Birdman carries off her favorite grandchild, this is where she goes. And then she kind of sends a drought to the earth.
That's fucking rude.
Yeah. Yeah. So some stories kind of about or related or taking place in these areas. Or this is one of the kind of deities that is associated with it is Kanehunamoku. He is worshipped as an Aumakua or a guardian spirit who takes away his worshiper in the body at death. So kind of like damn it. The name just went out of my head. The Greek one went out of my head. But anyway, he is the one that goes and gets the spirit and guides them to where they're going. About 30 years ago, when this book was written, which this book was written in the 80s, so there was a family who worshipped Kanehuna Moku, and they lived at Hana on the island of Maui, and they believed that there was a specific day when the island would pass by and take them away. So kind of like how everyone said that the world was going to end when the Mayan calendar ended. That's kind of the same vibe here.
In 2012.
Yeah. They're like, this is the day that Kanehunamoku is going to come get us and take us away. And when that day came, there were strange shapes in the clouds, and everyone was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. But that did not actually happen. They did not get taken away. A woman named Mrs. Pukui was told a story by her grandchild when she was a child, or her grandmother when she was a child. I said that weird. In Ka'u on Hawaii, that when Kanehunamoku passes by, one can hear roosters crowing, pigs grunting. They can see flickering lights and the waving of sugarcane and persons moving around on the island. An older woman is its guardian, and she holds an implement of destruction for anyone who lands without invitation. So if anyone tries to force their way onto this island, this old woman is going to destroy them. But on the island is a pool of water called Kauai Ola Akane, which keeps people young and heals all manner of diseases. So it kind of is giving the Fountain of Youth vibes. I have two more stories to talk about. The first story, or the first legend, there are multiple versions of this legend from different scholars, and I'm going to kind of briefly go through each of them. But the legend is the legend of Makua Kau Mana. The first scholar is Rice. It doesn't say any of their first names. It just gives me last names. So the Rice version is that Makua Kau Mana is a pious worshiper of Kane and Kanaloa, or Kane, Kane and Kanaloa, who lives in North Oahu with his only son, whose mother died at childbirth. And he daily takes care of his garden and calls on his gods while he's doing that. The two gods visit him in disguise as strangers. They note his piety, his hospitality, his generosity, and they see that he is digging in his garden and take care of his garden, which is a regular stick. And then he has like a carrying pole, which is one of the poles with the buckets on the end. So that's how he brings things back from his garden. And they give him tools to help it be easier. They come again another time disguised as old men, and they teach him how to pray, offer sacrifices, and keep the tapus for Kanehuli Hanua, which is the giver of land, and Kanepua'a, which is the god of rich crops. They basically teach him how to appeal to the other gods. They come a third time dressed like chiefs, and they bring a red loincloth and a colored bedspread for him. And to test his resolve, they complain that his son has broken the law of the gods and was eating the tapu of the gods. Makua, being like devout, is like the punishment for that is death. So he's like about to kill his son. The gods are like, wait, we tricked you. And
joke's on you.
Yeah, they send this big fish to Makua, and when he goes to jump off the fish swallows him and takes him to the hidden land of Kane Hunamoku, where he may live with Kane and Kanaloa in the deathless land of beautiful people. However, it is forbidden to weep in this land, and the gods again trick him by sending him a vision where he sees his son forced into the sea by his wife and eaten by a shark. Makua cries because he just watched his wife murder his son, basically. And he is sent back to his home island and onto the beach, where his son is so excited to see him, but his friends are like, bro, you like missed your chance of living in the land of the gods. But he ends up living to a ripe old age and is buried on Oahu. That is the longest version of the tale. The green version is a certain pious man calls so constantly upon his gods that they weary of attending to him, because he calls on them for trivial things. So they carry him to their paradise underwater, where they appear to him in their human bodies and chide him for his for being like so annoying, basically, and then they return him to his friends. The Westervelt version um, is at Kaipapau near Haula in North Oahu. There lives an old kahuna who has Kane and Kanaloa as his gods. They come to visit him, rest, and drink awa with him, and for his um, piety, they give him an ulua fish, which was never before known in those waters. They forbid him to go down to the beach, whatever noise he may hear. A great fish comes close to the shore near a place called Cape of the Whale, and people use its back to leap from. So they're like climbing onto this fish and leaping from it. The kahuna, right? The kahuna cannot resist joining, and the fish swallows him and carries him away to Tahiti.
Bye, bitch.
Right? The Kohala version is a whale gets stranded on the coast of Kohala, and the men begin cutting it up. Hamumu comes along and gets on the head of the whale and starts to cut, and then it floats away and with him on it, and he is carried away to Kahiki. He learns temple building and other arts there, and then somehow he fits inside a coconut shell that has been cleaned out, and travels back to his island in a coconut shell. And then teaches them how to build temples, which is the origin of the Mo'okini temple, and the hula hula ritual. And the last version of that story is the Lanai version. In a time of famine, a fisherman builds a hut by the sea, comes daily with the fish he has caught to give an offering to the god. But he does not know the name of the god. One day, two men appear. He gives them what he can. He's very generous. The next morning, they tell him that they are Kane and Kanaloa, and they have heard his prayers, and he has like a time of prosperity, and they built him it says a terraced how, and I forget what that is, but I think it's like a beach house, basically. The next myth is the myth of Kanehunamoku, which is that island, that floating island that kind of appears sometimes. Kane and Kanaloa are lords over the children of the gods who peopled the earth in the early days. Kanehunamoku, which is the island, Kane's hidden island, is their son. When he's born, thunder crashes and lightning flashes, and from the union of Manoikiulani and Hihikalani, which is the male head of the rolling clouds and the female head of the rolling clouds, and out of the mist comes says a rose a mist out of which blood tinted pyramidal clouds separated, and that's where the island comes out of. When the island becomes a man, because that's a thing, he desecrates the flower garden of Kauanohi, whose pool is called Manawai, and he's banished to a floating island where their people are dwarfs. This is the land of the dwarfs. He comes to himself in this land and is like, what just happened? What's going on? And he's like really confused. It's almost like he had amnesia and now he's back to himself, or starting to like remember things, and is like, what is happening? And this mysterious voice comes out and tells him to continue over the ocean blue, the deep sea, the Red Sea. He is very prideful, and the voice asks him what he desires, and he asks for a wife. who shall be Kaonohiaula. And the voice answers him from a plant. There's a lot of thunder and lightning. Little white birds come running toward him. The voice tells him that his land is sacred and shall not be seen in the light of day. It shall be seen only at certain periods in July and August when it hovers near Kauai. So he and when that happens, he shall be near and that land is the beautiful floating cloud of Kane and Kanaloa. And he can have his companion there. And randomly, those two, their favorite sport is going to be bowling. It's fine.
Well, they have a lot of coconuts and a lot of like things that they can use for it. So
right. And so these two have children. Their children are a mo'o, a dog, a caterpillar, a beautiful girl with supernatural powers named Halala Manu, a girl of fire, Kui'ilioloa, Loimoa, which means endowed with sacredness, upholding family purity. So all these like people with powers and craziness. And then just an ordinary child named Kaonui. That child is gonna have complex. That's all I'm saying. So the land of Kanehonamoku is like 3 atmospheres, I guess, or 3 levels. The outer is named after himself. The second is named after his wife, and that is where his wife and children and the dwarf people live. And then the inner like level is called Uluhai Malama, and that's where fragrant flowers grow. So there are Uhawau and Uhalowau are the overseers of this garden, and they lead the people of Kanehunamoku through the flower garden, or the spirits. So this is kind of like, these two are kind of like Chiron. They're moving people through. And this island only moves at night, which is interesting. And so the 12th night of the moon, as it begins to round, and the first of the Kane nights is when it is visible. It's also visible during the periodical visits of Kane and Kanaloa on the night of Akua, which is the full moon. So that's when this island is visible. But yeah, so the islands of the gods like are very Atlantis.
it does sound like it, especially when they're like, it could be this or it could be that.
Yeah. But I feel like a lot of cultures have an Atlantis. Like there's Atlantis, and then there's Avalon, there's El Dorado. There's
on
lots
the
of different
today.
right. There's lots of like cultures that have that mysterious. I mean, even you could even throw the Garden of Eden in there, like
yeah,
lost paradise land.
Was but was not there.
Yeah. So that is the land of the gods.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, well, we'll see what other good goodies we have cooked up for you in the next folklore episode. So, until next time.
Bye.